Temple of the Seven Dolls. It's not for conducting research. It's for representing something to the public that you already understand. I personally think, others, I agree, I believe, that the Caracol at Chichen Itza was more an observatory. They were also trying to figure stuff out about Venus at that point. But in some of the other cases, it was just to commemorate. Like at Uxmal, for example, you have this one building, the House of the Governor, which is out of whack relative to all the other temples.
It's a huge structure.
And it's a massive structure. And all over, it's carved on top, and the entire facade has these images of stars or celestial icons all over it. So you know it's saying something about the sky. The question is what? A couple of guys, some of the very early, the pioneers of what they now call archaeoastronomy, they found that the orientation aligns with one of the southernmost extents that Venus can ever rise, or actually can ever set. And it's in line with, on the one hand, this throne that's set in front of the structure.
The double jaguar throne.
The double jaguar throne. But then that aligns with the highest pyramid of a site that's 13 kilometers away. So
is that the pyramid that's on the site of Uxmal?
No, it's a completely different site.
Which site is that?
It's called...
Oh, sorry.
Kepech.
Okay.
It's Kepech. So that you have this structure out of whack relative to all the other temples, and its orientation is set to line up with this throne, with this pyramid in another city, and with Venus. So that they're really doing a sophisticated integration of Venus into that architecture, and then kind of probably the rituals as well.
Mathematics, astronomy.
That's right, playing some pretty heady games.
And also by the Mérida site, Dzibilchaltún also has a cenote, and it has a chapel, and it has a pyramid that you can climb, and about a 30-minute drive from Dzibilchaltún is Progreso. Now Progreso is where it's rumored that 65 million years ago, the Chicxulub meteorite maybe killed the dinosaurs, and so. It's a beautiful beach. It's a beautiful,
fantastic beach.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful. Progreso is fabulous.
Yeah, can't say much about the meteorite stuff. That's not my area. Yeah, part of the geology does represent the evidence that people have interpreted to say, oh yeah, this kind of correlates with the right time period for the extinction of the dinosaurs. How that relates specifically to Progreso, I don't know.
Now, most of the Yucatán Peninsula is limestone?
Right, so which is why you get these really interesting cenotes to be formed at all, and they contain water. What's nice is that so this is really the only option you have for large bodies of water in the Yucatán Peninsula, because there are very few lakes. So you need rainwater, and you need these kind of basins. And we find, only very recently, archaeologists have found that there are some sites that are built around wells that were dug. So these huge swimming pool size wells that they carved out of or modified from smaller caves to just hold rainwater. So they would drain off the rainwater using these canals and stuff in the city, all to feed down into that one well, and then that would be their water to use during the dry season. So you need that kind of technology, you need that kind of resource in order to live in Yucatán.
Are the cenotes connected underground?
At some point they are, and then at some point they're carved up, so they're cut off, so that they're underground rivers, but the chemistry of it has them kind of decaying, and then the whole reason you get the stalagmites and the stalactites, for example, is these things are dripping. That causes formations underneath the ground, so sometimes these things can just close off. The water has to redirect, but you're left with this lake of water in a cenote.
Now, what do we know about Uxmal besides that it's fabulous? They've got like another El Castillo at Uxmal.
Uxmal is really interesting because it does combine different architectural styles. It's connected to the Puc region, which is more along the Gulf Coast, as opposed to the stuff that we see on the interior. But there are still some fascinating connections between the masks that you see in the architecture that identify really the Puc style with something in the very far south of the Maya region, which identifies these temples as mountains. So sometimes people call them the chalk masks because they're these masks that have these really long noses, And in the codices, like in this codex, you can flip through and you can see representations of Chak, the rain god, and he's always got this really long nose. So people said, hey, it must be a representation of the rain god. But in fact, if you trace the iconography, you find, or the way that people drew these images, you find that it was representing just a mountain. That's how you would draw an animate or a living mountain. So when they were making these buildings, they were thinking of them as mountains. And if that's a mountain that you built, then when you go inside the building, you're really kind of going inside a cave at the same time. So you can see how they were blending architecture with the natural environment to create their cities and their relationship to the environment.
And another site is, Cabal, that's near Uxmal.
Yeah.
And that's where they have it's like a wall of like all these faces of shock.
Right, and so, and you also get during this time period a really intense ceramic tradition of creating these incensarios, so or censers, so that you'd put incense in them and burn them. And they were really cool in the sense that sometimes they would put channels within the incense burners so that it would look like the smoke was coming out of their hands as opposed to just coming out of the back or something. So, but what they're showing is they're showing the commonality in the religious practices across Yucatan during the post-classic. So you see this stuff at Cabal, you see this stuff at Uxmal, it comes all the way to Chichen Itza, you see it at Dzibilchaltún. There's this way that the religion seems to be coherent in the post-classic, and it's centered around these ceramic figurines.
Well, once more, we're almost out of time. My guest has been Gerardo Aldana, and I'm Donna Lynn, and we're talking about everything Mayan, and we're even going to do another series, another segment to this. So stay with us, keep staying with us, join us, and please, if you ever have the opportunity to go to Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, you need to. It is so beautiful. You are going to, besides for spring break and having fun and everything, there's so much architecturally and so much culture, and Mérida is a beautiful city. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And thank you for watching Travel Angel.
Claps and all.
So, yeah, we'll do another show, and then we can talk about Coba.
Right.
And then Sian Ka'an. It's a bioreserve.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Maybe mangroves, ecology, no?
Well, I think...
Well, Coba.